Hello, what do we have here? Ooh, the Sideshow Lando Calrissian Skiff guard version. It's time for Nerdgasm. What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out there? Welcome to another unboxing video. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of talk of collecting. We go on toy hunts, we do hot toys unboxings, statue unboxings, all kinds of figure stuff. If you're into all of that, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the content. Also, if you're interested in supporting the channel even more, we just launched the Marvelous Knights membership group. You can join that for only $1.99 and you get things like early access to our videos, you get producer credits, access to members only giveaways, and a lot more. If you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to the video so you can catch all the details, or you can click the join button just below this video. And finally, if you're into giveaways, we're doing a giveaway right now. We broke 25,000 subscribers. We actually broke 26,000 subscribers, and we're giving away a Sideshow Gladiator Hulk maquette, courtesy of Blurred Binder, and a $50 gift card to Comic Concepts. If you guys want to join, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to that as well. All right. So what do we got in the house today? The Lando Calrissian Skiff guard figure from Sideshow. I picked this one up at Collector Zone. So if you guys don't know about Collector Zone, that's a really cool spot for you guys to get high-end collectibles. So you can get like statues from Sideshow, Prime One Studios. You can get stuff like that. You can get Hot Toys. You can get Sideshow figures. A lot of cool stuff. Mezco figures, Funko Pops. They got a lot of high-end stuff at their store. And they got pretty good prices. The prices include shipping. So definitely check that out. And if you want an extra discount, you can get 5% off if you use the MCE code. So definitely check them out. I'll leave a link for you guys to get to them in the description below like I do everything else. This one here I picked up. I wasn't gonna pick it up right away, you know. I kind of wanted it because I have the Jabba the Hutt from Sideshow, and I kind of want to do a scene with all that. So I'm really looking for any characters that I could put with it. I would love to be able to get a Gamorrean guard because I don't think Hot Toys has made one yet. I know they made Sideshow made a Bib Fortuna, and it's not the best looking piece, but it's what we got currently, at least until Hot Toys releases something. So I'm gonna probably check that out on eBay. It's an older piece. They have yet to make a Slave Leia. Neither Hot Toys or Sideshow has made one, and that's something that I want. But we got the Lando in the Skiff uniform, and you know, from Return of the Jedi, so I thought that would be dope. I don't usually buy the Sideshow figures. I generally have stuck to the Hot Toys recently. I do have one Sideshow figure, which is the Scout Trooper on the speeder bike. I think that was done very well. But overall, I feel like their Sideshow figures have not been the same quality as Hot Toys. So that's why I've kind of stayed away from them. But my boy, Frankie, the Raging Mando, if you guys don't know who he is, he comes on the channel with us every now and then. He put a post in the group asking what our thoughts were on this figure. And I thought, hey, what better time for me than now to get the figure and do a video on it, and that way I can let him know what I think about this one. So without further ado, let's bring you in for a close-up so you can check out the box. You know what time it is. Close up! All right, there is your box. As you can see, it's a lot skinnier than a Hot Toys box. Also doesn't feel as snugly fit like the Hot Toys lids feel. Like the other ones feel like they're vacuum packed. This one here just feels like it's a box sitting on another box, a little bit loose. On the front, you have the Skiff Guard uniform with Lando. It says Star Wars Lando Calrissian. It's got a similar design way to the Hot Toys one where it's got the black with the gray going on there. On the side, it just says Star Wars. On the back, though, you can see a little bit more of the figure. I kind of like the way this backing looks. And then you got some of the credits there and everything, so that's pretty dope. And then you got that on the side, and then you're back to the front. So when you pop this guy open, all right, like the Hot Toys figure, you get an image that you can use as your background if you wanted to. So you have that, okay? And then you have your figure in plastic. So there you go. So at least you know it's not gonna just fall out when you open the box. So I think that's good, just like how the Hot Toys is. All right, so like all my other figures, let's get this thing out of the box. We'll go over the accessories, and then afterwards, we'll do some articulation and get into some posing. First thing you get with your impersonating Lando Skiff guard is a DL-18 blaster. That's what we're looking at right here. Now, I didn't show this when I was pulling it out of the box, but it broke on me on the way out. This little piece right here that you can see, that's kind of scuffed and everything like that. comes painted that way, but I was just picking it out with my nail, trying to get it out of the container, and that just came flying right off. I'm probably gonna have to glue it back on. Right now it seems to be clipped back in there. But that's kind of what I mean about the, it may happen with Hot Toys too, but at least with Sideshow, you get kind of, cheap manufacturing in my opinion. But the look of the gun is really nice. I like what they did with the handle there. The grip looks really good. You can see the texturing on that. I like the scuff and the wear on the blaster itself, and it looks pretty accurate to the gun from the movie. So very cool. You also get the staff that he has, and the detail on this is really nice. You can see all of that, the texturing and I like the sculpt here and everything looks really nice. All the little details. I like the way they did the paint work on it. It looks like a real blade right there. Very cool looking design for this staff. So nice work on that. Very cool. All right, and then you get a variety of swap out hands. None of the hands have articulation. They're kind of like, a little bit flexible plastic. But the details on it look real good. Like you can see the veins in the hands and everything. Nails look pretty accurate. Look at that looks nice. So really nice work on the hand. See, you got another one here that's looks like he's holding his staff. All right, good job there on the knuckles and all that. You get another relaxed hand. All right, and another hand holding the staff. And then you get a trigger hand. All right, and then on the figure itself comes with 2 fisted closed hands. All right, and then lastly, you get this portrait right here with the helmet. You can see the portrait's inside there, and then it just pops in, on the body. They did a great job with the sculpt on this and the paint work. You can see that the top of the helmet has that leathery type of look to it with the texturing, so it looks really good. I like the paint work around the metal areas. It's worn and weathered, looks real nice. They did a great job with the look on that. The only thing that I wish this one could do, it was the sculpt and everything looks great, is I wish that this part of the mask here could come down. It won't. It's glued on there. It stays right where it is. It'd be kind of cool if it was able to articulate down a little bit, because in the movie, there's that scene where he kind of pulls the mask a little bit as he watches Chewbacca get sent into the prison cell. So I think that would be dope. All right, so let's take a look at the figure. That's all the accessories. All right, and there is the Lando Calrissian Skiff figure. Got a little bit of material that's falling off there already. I really like the portrait. I think the portrait came out really nice. They did a good job on that. Looks really good. I feel like the costume feels a little bit cheap, in my opinion. It doesn't scream high quality like what you get from Hot Toys. And considering that this guy costs as much as a Hot Toys figure, I'm a little disappointed in that end. The shoulder pads have some nice detail, but they feel like plastic, like paper thin plastic. Like this doesn't even feel, this feels like you can really like break it just by squeezing it. It's held on by some strings here. All right. The material of the cloth on his, undersuit also feels very cheaply made. This leather material that they use here feels like the kind of stuff that's going to deteriorate, very quickly, I guess, or over time. It would probably deteriorate. It just doesn't really feel like really high quality when I look at that. So in that sense, I'm a little disappointed. The detail on it looks good, but like the armor on the suit to me looks like, like a Halloween costume that you buy at Spirits. Like this is what you would put your kid in when you send them off to go get trick-or-treating. That's how I feel about the way the cut and sew looks on this particular figure. Like everything I do though, let's do a close-up so you can check out all the details, and you can, I can go over that. So you know what time it is? Extreme close-up! So there is your figure up close and personal. Like I said, I really dig the portrait. I like how they have the glassy eyes, and even the white in the eyes is kind of reddish a little bit, like, you know, maybe he smoked one before he went on scene. No, but I kind of like that, almost like a little bit of blood in there and everything. So I'm good with the way that looks. Gives it a little bit of realism. You can see what I mean by the suit. You know, I hope that's coming off. This doesn't feel like hard plastic when you hold it. Like, it doesn't feel like a simulated armor like what I've seen from some of the Hot Toys. Like, you know, I'd expect to be a little bit more, especially at the price point. But the paint application on it, I think, is done very well. You know, it has this bronzing that I like. There's the shoulder pads. You see, there you go. Detail on the shoulder pads. And you can see that it's all held together by string, you know, and then you got the string there in the back. See how that looks? That just looks weird. Like, I don't think that's how that would be attached on there, but I guess that's how it was. So I don't particularly like the way that looks at all. You know, and then you got the material of the belt. You can see that it does come off with the appearance of leather. There you got the stitching in the gun holster. All right, you got the bracers there. You can see the way the bracers look. All right, on that side, this side there's no bracer. Okay. And then you have this leather material back here. You can see how thin that is. Yeah. And then the pants material is also very thin. And then you have the boots. You can see the boots actually look okay. I like that you got that belt buckle there. That buckle that holds it down, almost like he's got. I didn't even realize, you know, it's not really like boots. He's wearing like sandals. That's cool. They never saw that in the movie, so. Very neat. I like the way that came out. So overall, I'm very happy with the portrait, and it's going to be a stand-in, I guess, until Hot Toys comes out with their own figure. But let's take a look at the articulation, and then we'll get into some posing. Let's get into the articulation and see what this thing could do. All right, so start off with the head. You can turn the head all the way around. Get all exorcist if you want to. So you can go that way. You can do a side-to-side turn of the head. All right. See, you can look about that far down, and you can look about that far up. So plenty of articulation in the head. In the arms, you can go about that far out with the arms. So you have plenty of movement there going side to side. I don't feel any, you know, clicking or anything like that in the arms to make me feel like it's in, you know, some kind of position, like a locked position. So that's interesting. Although going forward, I can feel that. So you can go about this far forward, and you can go pretty far back with the arm. All right. There is some turning at the top of the bicep. So you do have a little bit of turning at the top of the bicep. In the elbow, you have a double joint, so you can get your elbow all the way back like that. So that's really good. In the forearm, you have nothing. There's no turning in the forearm. Okay, in the hands, let's try with this hand because the bracer seems to get in the way of the other one. So let's see. In the hands, okay, these particular hands don't feel like it has any kind of, oh yeah, it does a little bit, I guess. You see about the other ones. Let's grab one of these guys. Yeah, so there's a ball joint on these, but it's a little different than, yeah, it's about the same as your Hot Toys. And it looks like it has it here too. So you can turn your wrist in and out like that, like you do a Hot Toy, all right? And then you can turn it, and you can do, you know, that side-to-side action like that, going up and down. So you have the same motion that you would have on the wrist of a Hot Toy, okay? In the waist, you can twist the waist so far. You can twist the waist back. So you can get about that kind of motion there up in the waist area. It's just above the belt. And you can get a little bit of downward action and upward action there at the waist. So you have a little bit of articulation there, so that's good. All right. See, with the legs, you can go about that far before the pants start to pull on you. All right. Forward, you can go about that far. All right. And then back just a little bit, not much going back. Okay. So about that far if you hold it. There is a little bit of articulation at the Not at the top of the thigh, but where the leg actually meets into the butt. That's where it seems to be turning there, okay? At the knee, you get about that much rotation there at the knee, all right? And it does feel very, very stiff on my figure anyway. Like, it doesn't have the same kind of feel that you would on a hot toy as far as the bending. But yeah, you got about that much there on the knee, okay? At the top of the ankle or the calf area, there's no articulation there whatsoever. And then on the ankles, you have pivoting here side to side, and then you have forward and then forward this way. So you have about that much action, all right? So that's all the articulation this figure has. Let's get him into some poses and see what we can do. All right, there is my first pose. So he's kind of looking like he's just, you know, stalking the Jabba's palace maybe, you know, looking for his opening. So poses pretty well. He balances pretty good. I like that. So I think that's done really well. The hands, they are not, they don't close tight enough around the thin part of the shaft here on the staff. So you kind of, at least for this hand, you have to kind of like bring it up a little bit further so that it can get a better grip on it. So that's something that I noticed. The gun holster works pretty good for the gun, so that's in there now. But otherwise, pretty well done. So let's see what else we can do. Maybe get a little more action pose here, and we'll try something else, all right? All right, second pose. So I got a much more action-packed pose here. I actually went on and took a look at Boba Fett in the latest episodes of The Mandalorian when he was handling the staff that he was handling to get this kind of pose going. Lando would never be in this pose. He's not much of a fighter. He's more of just, you know, a con artist, a swindler. He's a pilot, you know, and, you know, he probably could shoot a gun pretty well, but I've never seen him, you know, get all down and dirty with a weapon like this. So having him in this pose is probably not movie accurate, but, you know, it's still pretty cool, actually. You know, it'd be kind of neat to have it looking like this, like if you wanted to have maybe another type of guard, you know, like maybe wanted to get a couple of these and make it look like he's just a guard instead of it being Lando himself. But the pose looks pretty dope, and it balances pretty well again. So very cool. I kind of like this one. This is dope. All right, let's get something more movie accurate, and then we'll give you my final thoughts. All right, and there is my third and final pose for this character right now. Not movie accurate. I know I said movie accurate, but then I went looking on the Return of the Jedi, and, you know, as far as his scenes go, they really don't have much to go on as far as that goes. I mean, I don't have a skiff to have him hanging off the side of a skiff. So yeah, I got him in a pose here, kind of again look like he's stalking or you know, just ready for a gunfight. Got his blaster all out and everything. I really like the portrait. So, you know, this is very cool. I think I would probably end up posing him, you know, with the helmet off, even though initially I thought I was going to put it with the helmet on, at least until maybe I get a different Lando Calrissian. And now I'm contemplating getting the Hot Toys Lando from Empire Strikes Back, just to have something to compare the portraits to. I think they did a great job on this portrait here. So my thoughts on this figure is that it's a good figure. You know, it does good poses. It's not very accurate to the movie. Like, I look back when I was doing the posing and the strings that they have here. In the movie, you can't see that. So, you know, I'm thinking that they're probably not that color. They're probably black to hide well into the suit. You know, going with that white color, I think was kind of weak. The armor, again, looks very, very cheap, and so does the rest of the outfit, especially for the price point. You know, I feel like this is, you know, it almost borderlines Barbie doll when it comes to looking stuff like that, you know, versus like what you get from a Hot Toys, where you get something that you know, it's worth the $250 that you're spending on it. This doesn't really feel like I'm getting my money's worth when it comes to this one. So that's my overall thoughts on this one. But the portrait looks fantastic. They did a great job on the portrait, and the design of most of the weapons, other than this part falling off, even the gun looks really good. So so for that, you know, I'll give it some pluses. So it's more of like a middle of the way character. I would probably wait for a sale on this one, or you know, free shipping, or, you know, I don't know, a bigger sale. I mean, to me, this is more in the range of like $150 action figure, 100, you know, somewhere around there. 100 to 150 bucks is what I would probably spend on this, not the 250 that I did. But I think mine included shipping, so, you know, when you look at it that way, I guess, you know, that's what that is. So That's my thoughts on it. As always, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this figure. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, guys, keep it marvelous, and may the force be with you.